This voice note right here was taken from Jah Cure's own phone. This voice note right here has Jah Cure admitting in the voice note that he sent this voice note. Jah Cure just got 9.5 years in a Dutch prison. Jah Cure. I'm kind of under the weather right now. My throat all hoarse up and stuff. But for those of you who don't know who Jah Cure is, go look him up.
You never find no one in this lifetime to love you like I find that girl. I like I don't swear that girl. Only you.
One of reggae music most prolific singers. Behind these prison walls, doing my bases, doing my time, you know what I mean, and longing for, he just got hits after hits after hits. This is what I'm gonna do for you, and then you're not gonna see my face in this video anymore, because I'm on the move right now, as you can tell, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the words of the voice note that just got Jah Cure 9.5 years in a Dutch prison, and then I'll talk about everything else off screen. So, word for word. Brother, let me tell you a story. I'm in the middle of Amsterdam Square with some killers. I'm waiting on Papa to stab him like 60,000 times, bro. And I have the knife myself. I'm ashamed to tell you this, bro. I take off all my jewelry. And I'm in Dam Square with Penko. And I'm going to show Penko that he is to put respect on his name. My brother, this is stupid what I'm telling you. But believe me to God, if Papa showed up here, you will hear the news, and someone will be here to make the video. My brother, I'm not lying when I tell you this. I'm waiting on Papa to fix him good. And I'm waiting that he shows. Brother, you will hear the news. I make no joke. I would never send you a voice note like this for no reason. I'm not here to make a comedy show, bro, or a horror movie, but I'm here to star in a real life show. Bro, believe me, this nigga let me work this stage and don't pay me, bro, and he's talking tough. I'm waiting on him. Bro, if he shows, you will know. Well, he did show. And we do know. Because according to news out of the Netherlands, Jah Cure stabbed him multiple times with every intent to kill him. And that's the reason why the prosecution in Jah Cure's case said, nah, we are not settling for the 6 years that the judge just gave you on a lesser charge, attempted manslaughter. We want attempted murder because you tried to murder him. We want premeditated attempted murder because of this voice note right here. This voice note right here was taken from Jah Cure's own phone. This voice note right here has Jah Cure admitting in the voice note that he sent this voice note. This voice note right here has Jah Cure telling the person he's sending this to that I have the knife on me right now. I got it myself. This voice note lays out Jah Cure's intentions. I'm waiting on him. And if he shows, I'm going to stab him 60,000 times. Y'all heard the rest. Now, I want you to hear it in Jah Cure's own voice. and then the rest of what will happen next and what has recently happened. All right? You won't see my face again in this video. Enjoy the rest of the video if there's anything to enjoy. I'll say what else I have to say as the video goes on.
Brother, let me tell you a story. I'm in the middle of Amsterdam Square with some killers. I'm waiting on Papa to stab them like 60,000 times, bro, and I have the knife myself. I'm ashamed to tell you this, bro. I take off all my jewelry. I'm in the damn square with Penko, and I'm going to show Penko that he needs to put respect on his name. My brother, this is stupid what I'm telling you, but believe me to God, if Papa shows up here, you will hear the news and someone will be here to make the video. My brother, I'm not lying when I tell you this. I'm waiting on Papa to fix him. Good. And I'm waiting if he shows, brother, you will hear the news. I make no joke. And I would never send you a voice note like this for no reason. I'm not here to make a comedy show, bro, or a movie, but I'm here to start a real live show. Bro, believe me, this nigga let me work this stage and don't pay me, bro, and he's talking tough. I'm waiting on him. Bro, if he shows, you will know.
All right, everybody. So one thing I can say is this, right? Trouble is easy to get into and it's hard to get out of. We all know that Jah Cure was recently sentenced to 6 years in a Dutch prison, right? And for those of you who don't know, the 6 years he was sentenced to, it was not solid. It was not written in stone. Because in the Netherlands, within their laws, the prosecution has a right to challenge a judge at a higher court if the prosecution believes that they proved their case to win a bigger sentence and the judge made an error and gave the person they prosecuted less time on a lesser charge. That is exactly what happened in Jah Cure's case. The prosecution said Jah Cure had every intention to kill that person, that promoter named Papa. He not only had every intention to do so, he premeditated it. Of course, they have to prove me premeditation, right? Well, the only way they could prove that would be from them having some kind of evidence that he planned to do this and then he did it. Well, thanks to Jah Cure and his own phone and his own message in his own voice, they had exactly that. Everything that he said in the message, the voice note, proves premeditation. Now, I said this before. I said they are prosecuting him, or they are pushing further to give him more time behind bars, and I believe that they are going to get it. Now that we are here, and he has gotten the time, I will break down everything for you. But let me just say this first, right? I think Jah Cure's attorneys who defended him or who are fighting for him on that side, I think they're just eating out his money. I think they're just eating out his resources because they were not honest with him. If they were honest with him, they would have said, damn, listen, Jah Cure, if they did not have that voice note, we could save you because we would make it so they have to prove that you planned this, which means it was premeditated before you carried it out. But because of the voice note that you have that is in their possession, that is a solid premeditation proof that we cannot beat. So we're not going to take your money, buddy. Just go ahead and do your time, my friend. Instead of them telling that to Jah Cure, they're like, we're going to appeal this case, appeal his regular 6 years. They wanted to have the 6 years that Jah Cure was sentenced to overturned. And they were playing a strategy because if they had won at getting that overturned and Jah Cure was set free before the prosecution's separate case of appeal was decided, He could have been out of prison and back in Jamaica before they could prosecute him again. But because he was already in lockup, he's there. And so what they did was, while his lawyers were running the appeal process, trying to get his 6 years thrown out, the prosecution was running their appeal process, trying to get his charges switched from manslaughter to premeditated murder. Whichever one came through first would be the one that got the good end of the stick, if you will, and would leave the others with the shitty end of the stick. It just so happens that things worked out for the prosecution. A higher court decided that Jah Cure did premeditate, did attempt to murder Papa, and now he is charged with premeditated attempted murder, and he is given more years on top of the 6 years he already has. Yo, you know what's funny is, anyway, so Jah Cure is hit with 9.5 years now in a Dutch prison. Originally, he was sentenced to 6 years, and he was already 4 years into his 6 years. Y'all walk with this so you understand. He was sentenced to 6 years. He was already 4 years into his 6 years, right? Which means he only had 2 years to go. This new verdict actually drops less than 24 hours after a post was made on Jah Cure's account on social media that said 1.5 to go. Which everyone said, okay, that means he has 1.5 years to go, a year and a half, and he'll be home. We were thinking 2 years to go and he'll be home because he was 4 years into a 6-year sentence, right? So 1.5 to go and he'll be home. And less than 24 hours after that, news headline says Jah Cure has been hit with 9.5 years. His lawyers boosted him up, yo. His lawyers boosted him up and took his money is what I think happened. Trying to appeal, knowing that he could not possibly beat what was coming for him. Now, that voice note was too powerful. It deeply demonstrated premeditated attempted murder. And the judge did make an error. The prosecution challenged it to their higher courts and they won. Jah Cure now has another 5.4 years to go. His release date has now shifted from 2028 to about 2031. Damn! You know, originally, if you don't know it, Jah Cure was originally facing 17 years, or 15 years rather. That was what the prosecution was asking for in the first case, or when he went to trial. The prosecution said 15 years. The judge ended up not finding him guilty on premeditated attempted murder, but found him guilty on a lesser charge of manslaughter, attempted manslaughter. And based on that, the judge gave him 6 years. These shifts of the dates may not mean nothing to you, but that's a lot of years. So the prosecution challenged it, yes. And now Jah Cure has another 5.4 years to go. This is what people talk about when they say you think prison is a joke until you get in there and you're thinking, I'm going to do my time and get out. And halfway through your sentence, when you're thinking, time's winding down, and you look up and you get hit with more time, and now you're looking at more time ahead of you than you actually did already. Right now, Jah Cure has more time ahead of him to complete than he already completed So I know that happiness is gone. That smirk is wiped off his face this morning because he's probably was sitting there thinking 1.5 years to go and I'm done with this. Only to wake up to, nah, you have 5.5 more years to go after you just did 4. Damn. And he is coming out in the 2030s, 2031, around then. Man, listen. Trouble, easy to get into, very hard to get out of. Very hard to get out of. Here's my disclaimer again, right? We look at this situation. We don't want to kick Jah Cure when he's down. He's still our brother. We still wish him all the best. It's not looking like what he wanted it to look like, but life is not over. When they're done with this, he will probably be sent back to his own country, which is Jamaica. To say all that to say this. Yes, he could have handled it another way, but he didn't. I'm listening to the voice note and I'm thinking to myself, there were times in this voice note that Jah Cure was actually trying to talk himself back off the ledge from handling this the way he was handling it. Because the person who he was sending the voice note to, he actually said to the person, I am ashamed to be sending you this type of a voice note. Why would you say you are ashamed? Because you know that this is low vibrational destructive behavior. He knows it. He knows it, and yet that ego was standing out so much. Hey man, we cannot go take Jah Cure out of prison. Jah Cure is going to have to do every day of that 9.5 years. And for those of you who like to judge everything off of American prison time or wherever else, just to let you know, in the Netherlands, the prosecutor reiterated, in the Netherlands, they have no half time in prison, they have no probationary period, they have no getting out on good behavior, they have none of that. If you are sentenced to 9.5 years, you will do 9.5 years to the very last day of it. And there is no getting around it. That's just how they do prison time there. Like I've said in previous videos, the prosecutor from the Netherlands pretty much broke it down like this. He said, in the Netherlands, when they sentence somebody and that person gets time and they shave time off of that time to benefit the person who was convicted, it is a slap in the face of the person who was victimized that they got some justice for. So, 9.5 years, you will do every day of that 9.5 years. This is why, to my calculation, I said Jah Cure should be getting out sometime in 2031. We're in 2025. If you calculate another 5.4 years, or 5.5 years rather, we're talking about 2031. Correct me in the comment section if you think I'm wrong. And I'm sure later on they will officially publish his official release date, which I will definitely keep you updated with. I wish Jah Cure had handled this differently. We can all learn from this though. This is a situation where you watch somebody touch the stove and they get burnt right in front of you. So you now know not to touch the stove, or else the stove is going to burn you the same way. In other words, we've watched ego take a hold. And we've watched man try to please ego and now must pay the consequences for pleasing ego. Jah Cure is no small artist. Jah Cure is very popular. Jah Cure is at the top of the food chain. Jah Cure could have easily handled this using an attorney and suing that promoter, and then using his popularity to damage the reputation of that promoter so nobody else goes through what he went through with that promoter. But Jah Cure wanted to show him a hard lesson. The hard lesson should have been legal. The hard lesson should have been a hit to his pockets. The hard lesson should have been a hit to his reputation by word of mouth. But the hard lesson instead Jah Cure tried to show him was to take his life. I don't know if Jah Cure thought that if I stabbed him enough and I killed him, it would only be my story and I could easily say I was attacked and I had to defend myself and the people who were with me, because you heard his voice note, right? His voice note, he said, I'm in damn square with some killers. Huh. So I guess those killers were going to be like his people who would testify on his behalf after he killed Papa, that had Papa not survived the stabbings. Which, by the way, the news media out of the Netherlands said that the victim was left in critical condition with punctures to vital organs, collapsed lungs and all these other stuff, and the victim had to have multiple life-saving surgeries. With that said, I'm thinking Jah Cure thought this through, but thought it through the wrong way. He didn't think, what if he survives, to tell his side of the story, which is exactly what happened. He survived and he was able to tell his side of the story. Now, like I said before, and I'll say again, another lesson to learn here is action begats action. For every action, there is a reaction. So, Jah Cure did not go all the way to the Netherlands to think when I get there I'm going to get a knife and I'm going to stab up this promoter that booked me to come here to do shows. Jah Cure was booked to go to the Netherlands to do shows, and he performed at these sold out shows, and the promoter made a lot of money but refused to pay him. As a matter of fact, Ika Mouse and other reggae music legends have spoken up in Jah Cure's honor or on his behalf, saying that they themselves have worked with this same promoter, and this is something that he does all the time. He will push badness on you because you are in his part of the world. Y'all remember when Ramesh said, book them and cook them? Book them and cook them is a real thing. Somebody will book you for a show and you leave, say you leave the United States of America and you go all the way over to the UK. You're on their turf. You're in their territory. They can take your life there and make it look like it was an accident and you won't make it back home. So traveling to go do shows, to go pick up the bag or get some money could actually end with you losing your life. You're out of your own space. You don't have all your people around you. You're entrusting your safety to somebody who booked you for a performance. And that is what happened to Jah Cure. He was booked for a performance or multiple performances for what I've heard. And he went and he did a show and this guy started, yeah, not paying you. Do a next show. Me pay for the next show. Don't get no money yet. And Jah Cure is doing the show, but watching that these venues are sold out. These venues are full. So you must have got your money because it's tickets sold. It's money at the door. Where's my money? Oh, you're not going to pay me. And you're talking tough? Fuck it. I'm killing you. I bet you will never do this again. You can't threaten somebody and then hours later carry out the threat and not expect for that to be looked at as premeditated murder. There's a lesson here for all of us. There's a lesson here for the people who like to provoke people, thinking they're going to do nothing about it, because some people, they will stand on principle and risk their freedoms to teach you a hard lesson. Papa almost lost his life in this. He had to have multiple life-changing surgery. So that's a lesson for those people. There's a lesson here for the people who think with their ego. Like you have to always please your ego. This boy I talk tough to me, I'm gonna shoot him in his face, or I'm gonna stab him in his chest, or I'm gonna do that. But then your ego never normally talks to you about how many years you're gonna have to go do in prison after this. How you're gonna miss the most formative years of your child growing up after this. Jah Cure left. Jah Cure's daughter was a little girl when he went to prison. When Jah Cure comes out of prison, she will be a young adult. He will have missed her entire growing up. That hurts. That hurts badly. That hurts not just Jah Cure, knowing that he's not going to be there to raise his own daughter that he loved so much. It hurts his daughter, because she is not going to be raised by her dad. And he is not even in a country where she can go see him on visitation every other week or something like that. She is in Jamaica. He's all the way in the Netherlands or wherever she is. I'm assuming she is in Jamaica. I don't know her whereabouts concrete. But the lesson is there for everybody. And then, of course, the legal lesson here is you cannot record what you were going to do. Show the world that you thought about it deeply. Detail everything you're going to do. And then hours later, you carry out this violent act and not expect to be hit with premeditated murder or attempted murder. Lesson learned. For me, I learned lesson all the way around. For Jah Cure, I wish him the best all the way around. God go with him, because me can't go. And the only thing else I have to say about this is it's easy to get into trouble and it's hard to get out of it. Don't let that ego walk you all the way into prison or an early grave. I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace. Hey, my SouFLoTV audience. Listen, one of the things that I'm super proud of being able to accomplish or have accomplished is being a homeowner. I want to share the same with you. I hope you got your pen and paper, or I hope you put it into your phones or whatever. Get those numbers down, get the date down, and be there at that event. This is real help that I'm sending you, real help that will help you to become a homeowner as well. Are you looking to buy your first home, but you have a lot of questions on the process? Or are you just not sure if you're ready or where to even start? Then join us for an exclusive first-time homebuyers seminar on November 8th, 2025 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Tamarack Recreation Center located at 7501 North University Drive in Tamarack, Florida 33321. Come, learn everything you need to know about buying your first home, from navigating the market to securing financing and down payment assistance. Don't miss this opportunity to take the first step towards home ownership. Call or text Realtor Faith at 954-696-5108 for more information on how to register. And hey, we will see you there on November 8th at 1 p.m. I didn't think I had enough money to do it. I wasn't sure if I should do it. I didn't even know where to start. And then when I did start, the process was so daunting. But I had real help to help me navigate the process and help me to get help. And then the ending was so beautiful. Opening that door and stepping into your own space. You can do it too. Use the information in this video and get yourself there. Back to our scheduled program at hand.